Well, hello there, and welcome to the Microsoft Megabyte. I'm your host, Brian Gavados, and hey, guess what? If the previous episode about life hacks within Microsoft Office apps wasn't enough to satisfy your lust for efficiency, well then you are in luck, because today we're talking about the best back-to-school and learning tricks and tips from within Windows 11 itself. And just like last time, I am saddled with my trusty so-called friends and co-workers, Kyle Van Son, Alex Humble, and Tony Hannitys. Hello to each of you. I don't have time to hear from you. They've each brought their favorite Windows 11 top tip, which some folks out there might consider too good, simply too good for any student to know about. Well, pish posh to that. We believe every learner has the right to know what their technology can do for them. Right, gentlemen?
Yeah, we do.
Let's get lost.
Pal. If you're listening to this episode on a podcast app, hello, thanks for listening. But you may want to switch over to our YouTube channel so you can see the features that we're about to showcase. Just search for Microsoft Megabyte Podcast on YouTube and you'll pull the episode right up. All right, let's get moving. Alex, what do you have to show us for how a student's life can be improved, enhanced, I don't know, just elevated using a Windows device?
Yeah, so I'm gonna mix these. We got Windows 11 on a Surface Laptop Studio. So Surface Laptop Studio for us, I know it's the device that we use the most. Whoa, that camera got so dark. Let me change this. There we go. Maybe you can see it a little bit better now.
Yay!
So this is Surface Laptop Studio. It is super useful for a student, but Brian doesn't want me to talk about that. He doesn't want me to talk about Surface Laptop Studio. He wants me to talk about Windows, and I most certainly will, Brian. So the thing that I use most often, and to keep myself organized on my Surface device, is a little feature called Virtual Desktops. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up let's say a bunch of different programs, just really make a mess of things.
I'm going to be showing off one of those apps later. Yep.
Pretty simple for me to do. Then oftentimes what I'll be doing is I'll be working on maybe like a course of, I'll be writing some scripts. So if you're going back to school, maybe you're working on paper, doing a little browsing, playing some games. And oftentimes you want to have everything, set up, maybe using Snap, and it makes it really easy to, snap things.
Ooh, look at, so he's snapping Windows side by side using his Surface Pen there. So Windows showing off that you can actually use full Windows operating system with touch without a keyboard and mouse. Really cool.
Do it with pen. This is a nice way to get started with organizing. But the thing is when you start having multiple different projects that you're working on, you only have so much screen real estate. That's where the virtual desktop feature comes in. Now, it's kind of tough.
What did you just do? What did you just tap?
There's a little task view button down here at the bottom, right next to Start. Tap that, and you can see all of your open windows on this first desktop. Now, if I want to, I can even name this desktop. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to use my slim pen. I'm going to write work.
Okay, work. So
desk
by
work,
desktop, you mean, if anyone out there doesn't know, like you're naming a desktop, you're naming like this collection of windows that you've opened. You have your internet, your email, your whatever, and you have them exactly as you like it positioned, and you want to name that group. You're naming that desktop. You're naming that's your work stuff. Okay, that makes sense.
Set or collection is a nice way to think of it. Yeah. You're so used to having one desktop. Guess what? You can have as many as you want, or as many as you feel is productive. So this first one I'm going to call Desk Work 1K, and that's where all my normal stuff is going to go. Then I'm going to take this PowerPoint that I was working on, and I'm going to drop it over here into this second desktop. And
wait, how'd you do that?
Created one already.
You just drag and drop.
Take your finger or mouse or the pen and drag it into the desktop. And if you want to create a new one, no need to tap new desktop and set that up. You can just drag it onto the new desktop icon, release, and you have 3 desktops for 3 different work processes. It's pretty incredible. Now, there's one feature that I really like that is new to Windows 11. Oftentimes, across all of my different desktops, my different sets or collections, I need to talk to, you guys. I'm always on Teams
you're welcome.
Or Messenger. And so in the past, it would always switch you back to the desktop where Teams was. But now what you can do, if you press and hold on this window, you can actually say, show this window or show windows from this app on all desktops.
What?
Okay, I didn't know that. That's pretty,
everything.
All right, that's pretty boss.
Wait, what?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that means, I did
cool.
that on Outlook for this one, but that means now on desktop 3, which is where I have my PowerPoint, as well as desktop 1, I have access to my Outlook emails. You could do this for any application.
I'm thinking the To-Do app that I'll be showing off later. I'm thinking the To-Do app is perfect for that feature. Keep your task list wherever you are, even if you're playing games, Tony.
to do.
I don't know what you speak.
Messengers. It's a really, really handy feature. And it's just, one level next for virtual desktops. So that would be my tip for staying organized.
That is great. So I can see that you have your student, your student who's in school. They have their desktop group, so to speak, that's set up with their research paper and the different browser windows they have open that they're referencing for that research paper. And then they have another one open up that has their class schedule and their emails. And they have another one open up that has the top hitting AAA gaming titles of today, like Microsoft Solitaire. So yeah, good idea.
You can emit taxes and no one would ever know. It'd be incredible.
Yes. Awesome. Great feature. All right. Let's move on. Kyle, what you got?
Yes, I'm going to take it back. I'm going to simplify things. We're going to get back to basics because at the center of all this stuff is Windows 11. At the center of Windows 11 is a Microsoft account. Okay. If you want to get the most out of Microsoft 365, the To-Do app you're about to show, Outlook, or any of these things, you need a Microsoft account. It ties to your Microsoft 365 subscription, your Xbox Game Pass subscription, but it also ties into OneDrive. You do not need M365 to get the benefits of OneDrive. Anyone with a Microsoft account has 5 gigabytes of storage. And you might think of OneDrive as just like the cloud storage location. You can put things up there as a backup. But OneDrive connects to Windows 11 in a really important way. And we can take a look on my screen. You have OneDrive built into the File Explorer. This is what we call OneDrive Files on Demand. And you can see I'm using this device as a work device. So I see both my personal OneDrive, because I'm signed in with my Outlook email address. Okay. But a Microsoft account can be any email address. But I also have my work account here. So I'm seeing both cloud locations, all of those files at my fingertips, even though they're not locally on this device, because that would be a ton of stuff to put
locally on this device. Yeah, what does locally on this device mean?
That means if I were to disconnect from the internet, I would still be able to open that file because it is saved to this hard drive.
Got it.
And then when I reconnect to the internet, if I made changes, those changes would get pushed back up to the cloud version and they would merge and mesh and be one synchronized version.
One chimera of a file. Got it. Yes.
But you can see in File Explorer, the status area in File Explorer tells me that a ton of these have a little cloud icon. That means that they're not local on this device. They're not taking up any space. But if I need them at any time, I can go in and pull that file, that photo, download it, and open it up on this device and be ready to go. That means that if you want a series of slideshow pictures to be your desktop background, that can be in a OneDrive location. So anytime you boot up to a new computer or sign in somewhere else, it'll sync that setting and you'll have those pictures rotating as your background device. Anytime you need a new device, really, you connect with your Microsoft account and the settings you choose from your theme to like accessibility settings of having a color filter on, that stuff should follow you because of your Microsoft account and OneDrive. But really, that tip for students, teachers, anyone back to school is if you are not using OneDrive alongside your Windows 11 experience with files on demand and being able to have all that stuff at your fingertips, even though it might not be taking up space on your 64 gigabyte, 128 gigabyte solid state drive, you've got to start using it this way. So all that stuff is available without taking up that space.
So you're in a way you're saying, okay, you have a laptop or something that has 128 gigs of storage, but since you have a Microsoft 365 account, you have that full terabyte of OneDrive storage. You can access that full terabyte of OneDrive storage on a device that does not have a full terabyte of storage on it. On a device that cannot store that much. You can still see it, and then you just choose which files you want, and when you want to use those files, they'll download and become available to you, and then you can I see. It's efficient storage management.
Yes. It ties into a ton of other things, but that's my main tie-in for use your Microsoft account in Windows 11 so you can see all of that stuff at your fingertips.
Yes. And then also search on the Microsoft Expert Zone North America YouTube page for what is a Microsoft account, because we just released a video about that because it is so important. Yes. Very nice, Kyle. Now, we have Tony here.
Hello.
And Tony, you're the Xbox Master Chief General guy.
Master Chief.
Your title.
He's a buddy of mine.
I wasn't supposed to say.
Oh, he's a buddy of yours.
Oh, he's a buddy. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm not supposed to say that I know him, but yeah.
I understand. The low-key humble brag. But why is... What do you have to say about students and academia and learning? What tool do you bring to the table?
Like I said before, productivity is of utmost importance, but you need to be able to balance.
What? Balance?
We need to
That is Tony's
balance.
slogan.
We need to balance our life with productivity and awesomeness, or funness, or coolness, or other
So when I asked
adjectives.
you to come on here and tell us about a back-to-school productivity tip, you couldn't help it. You had to come talk about games in some way, shape,
Got to
or form.
talk about games.
All right, fine. Just say the thing.
All right. So with Windows 11, we have introduced this amazing technology that's actually built in to our Xbox Series X and S consoles, and that is direct storage. And in essence, it makes games load so much quicker than before. So we've all played a game once in a while. I know RuneScape is a fan favorite for some of you, or your favorite JRPG. For me, Destiny 2 comes to mind. But what also comes to mind is very long wait time for that game to load.
And hey, it's actually, I don't know where you're going with this, but for a student, a laptop generally is not going to be as spec'd out gaming rig like a desktop tower can be. So those wait times can be even, if anything, longer on trying to game on laptops.
100%. And so with direct storage available to all game developers, they're able to implement this feature into their games. So those fan favorite games that you know and love, all the way back to something like Quake even, those would load much, much quicker than ever before. It doesn't require a lot of processing power on the hardware side. As Brian alluded to, more and more just your mid-range laptops will be able to take advantage of it. I'm not saying it's going to be of the utmost beautifully visuals with color spec and highlights. But the game's going to load faster. You're going to get into your lobby faster. It's going to run fine. It's going to run very, very nice and smooth. And that's also what's very, very important. And if you take into account something like all of these games here that are available via the Xbox app built into Windows 11. Death Stranding is a game that just came out on PC Game Pass today of day of recording. All of these here, the ability for HDR10 variable refresh rate, those are all encompassed thanks to direct storage. Those would not be built in and easy for the developer to implement those without direct storage. So it's really, really awesome. And you, as the user, don't have to do anything. Enjoy the game. Have fun. Bye-bye.
So really what you're saying is if you are shopping for a new... Oh, sorry. I apologize. Goodbye. But if you are shopping for a new device and you're going back and forth between a couple different options, maybe you're thinking about a MacBook Pro, which is a great device, but also you're looking at your Windows 11 devices. This is something to keep in mind. If you play, Macs can play a bunch of games. Steam is available on Macs, right? So you can get a lot of games. You can play on the cloud through Xbox. However, direct storage is unique to the Windows ecosystem. It's unique to Windows devices. So if you want those games to launch real quick, you only have 28 minutes between classes to play some
name a game.
You have a game in mind?
Just
one game.
SimCity 2000?
Yeah, it does not. Yeah, it's 10 years.
Not in the past few years, but okay. It is a game. What are you typing?
Could have just said SimCity 3000.
Okay. So if you're looking to play a game like Forza Horizon 5, for example,
that's a better option.
There's a game.
Yeah, that's a great example of a game that our publishers have, published and designed and made. But it also does take advantage of direct storage. So, yeah, it runs very, very smoothly, even on a laptop that not necessarily is designed to do gaming, but direct storage does help.
Great. So,
hey, Brian.
Yes?
Do you have something to show us that might work well across multiple virtual desktops and synchronizes with a Microsoft account, and you might add to that list make time to play Forza Horizon 5.
Funny you say that.
Or
I
Minesweeper.
thought you were going to get him to name more games. That's what I thought.
You know,
Yeah.
back in my
No,
day,
I'm trying to move the podcast along.
it is true that back in my day, managing tasks and things was, there's a lot of apps to pick. In fact, today there's a lot of different apps you can pick. But I remember, back when I was in school, you'd use your notebook. I would use certainly a Palm Pilot or a Handspring Trio. I would use, literal sticky notes, the sticky notes built into Windows XP or Windows 7 that I was using at the time. I want to convince you, everyone out there listening and watching, that the Microsoft To Do app is so good. It's so good.
How good?
So good that you need
How good
to
is
just
it?
spend 10 minutes with it and you'll master it. Ready? Microsoft To Do app. Here it is. Boop, boop. So you can see here, I have my Microsoft To Do app loaded on my PC. This is available across devices. You could have it available on your phone, your iPhone, your Android phone, your tablet, even your Chromebook. It loads perfectly fine as a web app. But I have here different lists. I have my day. I've done nothing today because, just kidding, I've accomplished everything today, so it's empty. But if I want to add a task, it's easy. Just tap right here and say, learn about modern video games. That's a task. Great. And it's my day, so it's something to do today. If I wanted to, though, I could say, learn about modern video games. I could type it with some syntax to have it recognize it more quickly. So I'm going to delete that one. Delete task. I could move it. I could rearrange it, move it to a list. But I'm going to type learn about modern video games on Friday. Enter. Now, on Friday, is this something I needed to type? Now, To Do knows that it's going to remind me on Friday about this task if I haven't accomplished it by then. That is killer. So you don't have to go in and tap into different menus and remind me on this date at this time. Just type it out as you're capturing that quick task, and it'll be there and remind you when it needs to happen. I can say, I can drag this to a different, maybe this is a shopping reminder. Maybe this is a birthday gift. I can drag it into any of those subcategories. Maybe it's a show that everyone's talking about that I need to remember to watch. I can manage those to-dos so easily. In fact, I can even share entire lists. So here are my important to-dos. Here are all my to-dos. Here are flagged emails. Here are all my tasks. Here are birthday lists items. Here are gift ideas for the kids. Let's see. Within that birthday gifts idea, I can actually type on one of my kids' names and tap on Oscar there. And we can see I've created subtasks on his name to show different gift ideas. So a task itself can have subtasks that have steps to completing them. As you can see, I've been a great dad. He got his 2 Lego sets. Oh wait, that was from Grandpa. Oh wait, he got a bike ramp from Aunt Nancy. Oh, he got a small Lego set from us. So, we did something.
$20 max.
I was there. I was there.
You'll see that this list has little people icons next to it, which means it's been shared. I can tap this up here.
Ooh, you can
and I can see that I've shared it with my wife, who's actively in this list. I can actually tag her since we're saying. Robust. So it's kids' birthday days. I can say, buy the kids a toothbrush.
That's your birthday gift?
Their breath kind of stinks. And I'm going to say
it's a birthday gift that sends a message.
Allison. I go hit at Allison. And now it tags her. And now, just now.
In the to-do?
Just now, her phone has bleeped with a notification upstairs that says to please buy the kids a toothbrush because their breath kind of stinks.
And now she's blocked you.
Isn't that? Yeah. And she deserves to block me. But I can, of course, just accomplish. I can click it there. Now it's done. They have a toothbrush. We equip them with those kind of things here at our house. It's a modern day household with toothbrushes. This is the To-Do app. It's going to change. You can have task lists per class. Task list for school, just like with virtual desktops. Maybe you have one that's for school, one that's for work, one that's for all your gaming to-dos. Right, Tony? Because that's what a true gamer does. They have action items. Those are just some of the features in To-Do. It's so powerful. I want you to try it yourself. Just download it on no matter what app or what device you're on, Mac, PC, iOS, Android. Try To-Do and try virtual desktops and try direct storage and try whatever Kyle talks about.
A Microsoft account.
Microsoft account. Well, the thing is, Microsoft account is required for all of it. So that is something to really understand and make use of. Microsoft account ties it all together. So you get that OneDrive capabilities. All right. Those are just 4 hacks for back to school for Windows. What do you need, Kyle?
There were hacks inside of hacks. There were way more than 4. This was robust.
It's very hacky.
Thanks, Kyle.
Alex has 1 minute to spare for his next call. We did it. We were very efficient. All right.
Well done.
Thanks so much. We'll tune in next time for more hacks, I assume, or for an interview, or who knows what I got going on here on the Microsoft Megabyte podcast. So long.
You should check your to-do list if you don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to check this to-do list. This has been the Microsoft Megabyte podcast, a training tool for Microsoft field team members and sales professionals across the country, produced by Microsoft employees.